Okay, so I've recorded this video 3 times. My mic is doing something really weird. I think I figured it out. If not, oh well. Um, but Ilia Topuria, this is not it. Go watch my other videos. So if you're new to the channel, I make um mostly daily MMA videos. But yeah, we gotta talk about this right here. The picture down here, and Ilia Topuria trying to get himself a fight against Terence Crawford ahead of Terence Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez. Without further ado, I'm just gonna read this article. I've already recorded this video 3 times, and I'm annoyed. Terence Crawford is just days away from the biggest fight of his iconic boxing career. Bud is set to square off against undisputed super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on September 13th. Terence Crawford's latest fight has become by sports fans who are using social media to voice their opinion on the matchup. Ilia Topuria utilized X, formerly known as Twitter, to gather opinions on another monstrous matchup. On Saturday, Ilia Topuria shared a picture of him meeting Terence Crawford online. The UFC lightweight champion added a caption to build for his eventual eventual move to boxing. Topuria asked, man, I cannot talk right now. Who wins this fight? With no rule set suggested, fans were debating Topuria versus Crawford in the comment section. You obviously, one fan replied, while another added, probably Crawford, because he's a good wrestler. A real fight you. Boxing he does, the third said. You shouldn't repeat Connor's mistakes, someone else wrote. Slow down, kid. This is not Charles Oliveira. You 10 times out of 10. Another one wrote. And if we go over to this exact post, right? This is genius. This is genius. This is one of, if not the biggest fights of the year, right? Crawford versus Canelo. Super fight. And you look at the engagement on it, almost 1,000 comments, 868 reposts, like, I'll leave myself. Um, but yeah, Feldman going over his wrestling here. I guess you can watch. That's loud.
We're gonna play right around there.
You got it, Wolf. You got it, Wolf. Either end it, you got it, Wolf. No, no, pick him. Oh, I won't, sir. What happened, sir? Get your 2 points, playing, bro. Get your 2 points on him. Get your 2 points. Come on, kid. Come on, kid. Come on, kid. All right, yo, go. Come on, kid. I'm just showing him I'm too strong. He got this. He got this.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they have the clip of Ilya. All that might give me, whatever. You better not ding me, YouTube or UFC, for that. But I mean, this is genius. Again, whether it happens or not, he's using this headline to his advantage. And you gotta remember, he said this last year. I'm 27. I hope to be up by 30. And what I think he meant by that is, I'm going to build my name in MMA. And I'm going to go make a shit ton of money doing boxing. And then I will probably fully retire by 35. That's honestly what I would do if I was um, in his position. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Ilia Topuria and this run that he is on is one of the most impressive runs I've ever seen. I've watched John Jones. I watched BJ Penn. I watched a lot of good fighters. And Ilia Topuria, the fundamentals that he has, the boxing technique that he has, compared to everybody else in MMA. And you saw that in the Max Holloway fight. Many, even himself, said, I'm the best boxer in MMA. He knocked him out. You know, he had the fight against Josh Emmett. It was a brick wall who hits like a tank. And goes to a decision. Looks phenomenal. Submits Bryce Mitchell, handing him his first loss. Bryce Mitchell really good on the ground. Only other loss is to John Silva, who was fighting for a title eliminator against Diego Lopez. He had the Jai Herbert fight on short notice. He nearly got knocked out. Ended up coming back and winning the fight in the second round. Ryan Hall had a lot of hype to him. Joe Rogan really hyped the guy up. Ground and pound knockout. Again, really good at jiu-jitsu. Showed him that there's levels. Knocks out Damon Jackson. Beats Usos well in his debut. And then, you know, dominated the regional scene as you think it would. But boxing is different, obviously. And Terence Crawford has been around since 2008, and he's been an absolute fucking machine. First round knockout, unanimous decisions, second round knockout. Then after the Travis Hartman fight, he goes on an absolute tear, wherein finishes every fight for 3 years up until Angel Rios. And then, yeah, Terence Crawford is a machine, man. His power is incredible. His technique. But he's going in there against Canelo Alvarez. 63-2. After losing to Bivol, went on a 6-week winning streak, all by unanimous decision. But we know, only lost to Floyd Mayweather before that. And has had an incredible run. Everybody wants a piece of Canelo Alvarez. Every fighter calls out Canelo Alvarez. And he's incredible, man. I know it's the very, original description of Canelo, but what else can I say about him that hasn't been said? You know, Ilia, if any other fighter is truly going to have a good run at proper boxing at the highest level, I think Francis and I think Ilia Topuria. But I think Ilia Topuria is a far more technical. Is far more technical. You gotta admire what this guy is doing. And everything he says, how am I not following these guys? Everything that Ilia Topuria has set up to this point, he's done. He's gonna knock out Volk, he knocked out Volk. He's gonna knock out Max, he knocked out Max. He's gonna become the lightweight champion, knocked out Oliveira. Now he's chasing Islam Makhachev if he can get that one done before leaving the sport of MMA. Let's say he gets to 20-0, but he's getting these big wins were the best of his era. I don't know, man. It's crazy world we live in. Obviously, okay. We gotta talk about what happened to Conor, right? And with Conor, the money got to him. He went from welfare to having to fight for $100 million plus. Ilia Topuria, he comes from money, and that's not throwing shade at him. This guy has the best recovery. He has the best training, accessible to him. And I'm gonna bring in Jake Paul, right? Logan Paul. When you have money and you're coming into the fight game with money, your motivation at that point is purely to show your greatness. And I feel like that's what Ilya does, and that's a major advantage he has over all these guys. I'm not saying he doesn't care about getting paid for his fights. He's absolutely getting paid for his fight, but he doesn't need it. That's my point. And let's say Crawford ends up beating Canelo, and he gets that major win. And then he goes into a boxing ring and faces Terence Crawford. You take whatever your opponent has. When Floyd Mayweather beat Conor McGregor, he showed everyone, I am still the richest fighter in the world. My gimmick is still the best. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to beat what I would say is the best boxer we have ever seen competing at MMA. But boxing and MMA are completely different. You know, obviously, in an MMA fight, Ilia Topuria murks Terence Crawford. I don't even think it's close. Unless Terence Crawford could land an early combination within the first 30 seconds, I really think when, you get in a clinch in MMA with the knowledge you have in boxing, you're not used to those elbows. You're not used to those strikes. Work at Bo Nickel, right? Renier de Ridder, Dutch kickboxer. Bo Nickel was not prepared to be in danger in these areas where he's not used to being in danger to. But you look at the height difference 5'8", 5'7", 1 inch difference. He's 37. So, and this would be a win over a guy that's still technically in his prime, right? Um, right at the end of it, but still kind of there. It'd be incredible, man. It'd be incredible if he actually gets this done. Let's say he beats Gaethje, he beats Islam, beats Crawford. There's not many other stories in MMA that beats him. And I would love to see him stay in MMA. I would love to see him stay in the UFC, rack up title defenses. But this guy clearly is smarter than that. He sees the writing on the wall. He sees that once I establish myself as the biggest fighter on the planet, the money is on the other side, right? Let me know, what do you think about this down below. Hopefully we fixed our microphone issue that we've had over the last few days. But let me know what you think. And do you want to see Ilia Topuria go to boxing in his 30s? The fan in me doesn't want to see it, doesn't want it to happen, but you know, the logical side to me, I see it. I see it. It's about the money. I want this guy to make all the money he can. I really do love his character. Beast in the cage. Boom. Yeah, that's what I got. Later.